if we specifically look at mutations, mutations are the source for new alleles. Alleles, once again, are alternates of genes. So, usually when we think of mutation, everyone thinks of something that causes mortality. But most of the times, mutations do not cause mortality. And so when we look at these mutations, sometimes these mutations do allow for development of a specific trait. If this trait allows for a higher probability of survival and an increased probability for reproduction over time, what will happen is that the population itself will evolve. So that is natural selection, which of course drives evolution. When we look at evolution from a small scale, so microevolution, examples such as mutations, natural selection, we will talk about genetic drift or change due to chance, and of course, gene flow, movement of genes in and out of a population. So, what can take place for genetic equilibrium? In other words, a population is not evolving. Well, here we discuss the Hardy Weinberg principle, and this has 5 criteria which allows for the population not to evolve, which doesn't really happen, but these are important to discuss. So, for a population to show genetic equilibrium or is not evolving, there must be no mutations, the population must be a large size, no gene flow, so no immigration or immigration, movement of genes in and out the populations. Mating must be random, so every individual within the population has an equal chance of mating. And then all individuals survive and produce the same number of offspring, which doesn't really occur. So we identify these as two important equations. Really, p squared plus 2pq plus q squared equal 1, showing genetic equilibrium where the dominant traits, homozygous dominant, heterozygous dominant, and of course homozygous recessive, which is saying the same thing twice. You can also use an equation looking at allele frequency as p plus q equal 1, where of course p again is dominant, q is recessive for allele frequency.